You gotta claim your past, claim your true history, claim the Greeks, claim the Romans. The Greeks was a bunch of homosexuals, just like the Romans. You what? You proud of sodomy? You look like a product of sodomy. You weren't putting on the product of sodomy. You see that?
Scoot back, guys. Scoot back.
He said he's a product
Scoot back up.
Let's go. Just like
Got a line. Let's work the line.
Just like the truck.
It's fun. We get our line. Let's go.
Listen, because I know y'all a little younger than me. So let me show y'all something.
Stay back.
Go on YouTube, right? And you have to look it up for yourself. Check this out.
Probably gonna do that.
I'm gonna give y'all something. Check this out. Go on YouTube and look up Donald Trump kisses drag. You're gonna see your president kiss Rudy Giuliani dressed in a drag on the lips. Your president is a homosexual. I got news for you. Your president is a homosexual. Let me show you what the Bible says about your country. Give me that. 10:6. Check this out. They're not going to read this in the Catholic Church. They're not going to read this in your Christian church. Check this one out.
But that's saying, chapter 10, verse 6. I will send them against their hypocritical nation.
I'm going to speak up. The Lord said he shall send us against a hypocritical nation. You make us swear on the Bible. You got on the back of the court system, "In God we trust." On the back of your dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust." But you give faggots rights. The Bible condemns homosexuality, man.
They're still
So guess
humans.
what? And guess what?
Well, folks, this is the best show on Blog Talk and the best show on the internet. Shut up! Nobody, and I mean nobody, tackles issues like inflammatory talk. Shut up! And Mr. Midnight Movie. Shut up! And Jewish producer.
Hello, son.
Shut up! We tackle the things that nobody tackles.
Hello, son.
The man answers.
Hello, son.
Stop walking on eggshells. Shut up!
Hello, son.
Goofy Bone can get off his bloviated fat enchilada ass and start talking about La Raza.
Hello, son.
Jocking it. Pimp Daddy Joe Pete. Jocking it. Pimp Daddy Joe Pete. Whipping the skippy all day long.
We're making a movie about white guilt. We're going to examine all these facts. Shut up! The civil rights movement today basically protects criminals.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
We're making a movie about white guilt.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
Shut up! We're making a movie about white guilt.
Done in a beautiful fashion. The documentary, at the same time, both prose and poetry.
It's not the noble movement that it was.
I'm above you on all these issues. I've been to the military. I have served in the capacity to protect your rights to bloviate. To protect your rights to bloviate.
Who are you to tell me what my style is, you meth addict?
I've been to the military.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
I'm above you on all these issues.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
You haven't served in the military. In fact, you wouldn't be fit for the military.
I'm a racist, and I don't consider myself an especially evil person.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm a better man than you are.
You're a narcissist. We've established that.
Okay, stop interrupting me. You could not defend the very rights you enjoy. You are the ultimate invalid.
I put on you. I'm wondering why Mr. Solutions isn't on Debbie Daly's show.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Money. I'm into aviation. Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
Man boobs.
I see why Sick the Tank daddies kicked his ass and kicked him out of the house early on.
Man boobs.
Shut up.
I'm going to talk over you as loud as I can. I've got my speaker full blast to blow you away.
Shut up.
Mr. Midnight Movie.
My name is Delano. I have killed Mr. Midnight Movie. I stabbed that son of a bitch.
This is
Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
tired.
Money.
Power.
Money.
All right. Good evening, everybody. You are listening to Inflammatory Talk. Mr. Midnight Movie is here, and I'm a Jewish producer. Welcome to the show. What did you have on your mind tonight?
Well, Covington Gate.
What is that?
Well, I'm Twittering Covington Gate, or hashtagging Covington Gate as we speak.
Is that a real place? Can I go there and visit?
It is what happened on CNN. Let's see here. You go to my YouTube page here, but this is inflammatory talk. I am the inflammatory but diplomatic Mr. Midnight Movie, and my co-host, the inflammatory, I would say the inflammatory and diplomatic Jewish producer. Jesus. Oh, shoot, here we go. I'm sorry, folks. I am, there was an incident. There was an incident with Covington Catholic High School and Native Americans, and CNN, when CNN covered the story, and they did a like
CNN. Why do people even? I can't believe it.
I'm surprised. I am surprised that CNN has even lasted this long with their nonsense.
There is going to be a day, people, when CNN goes away because it is useless. It is 100% crap, and Foxes know better. But I always feel like for some reason that, and I might be totally wrong here, but what do you think? I think Fox has a lot more support behind it than CNN. Both can go to hell if you ask me, but it seems to me that if either were to fall, I would say CNN would fall first.
Yeah, well, another one that's going to fall is BuzzFeed. Now, there is a writer for SNL, Saturday Night Live, and she took down her post, but her name is I believe it's Sarah Betty.
Oh.
She said, "I will blow whoever manages to punch that MAGA kid in the face." And I think she has taken down that tweet, and I wonder what blowback will happen to the woman Sarah Betty. I'm gonna type her name up here because she said something. Here we go. This is her. Okay. Let me see. She says, "Oh," and she took down her tweet, by the way, and that was on the 21st.
What did she say, man?
Well, she said, I will blow anyone who manages to punch that." Because what happened was, first there was a group of MAGA, kids wearing MAGA hats who go to Covington Catholic High School. It's an all-boys school. And they were basically confronted by a group of Hebrew Israelites who were saying the president's a faggot and saying all other kinds of things. And then a group of Native Americans went up to them and started chanting in front of them. And what the first video said was that a group of MAGA kids confronted the Native Americans, and then it's shown as what really happened was the Native Americans approached them, and that there were, and then CNN. First of all, CBS and the other news station said that they were protesting a group of black preachers who were preaching about the Bible and injustice. Not stating that they were Hebrew Israelites. So basically, I don't get why they lie. They're either just willfully ignorant, or they're lying by omission. But this is really awful awful, awful reporting. Either way it goes, and they have not apologized. I mean, the right doesn't apologize only because it doesn't do any good. And probably with the left, it won't do much good either. But these stories, I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on here in this country. And I think it goes to show why a movie about white guilt is much needed today to just ask these people, because I have fucking questions, and I'm sorry I'm swearing, but I have questions to ask.
I'm far more cynical than you. What you said is very telling for where you come from as far as being interested in the news. And you say that one side won't apologize to the other and this and that. I think they're the same side. I think it's all just, there's very few companies that own these businesses. And I think it's just kind of like they're all cronies and they all have an agenda and they have one side to push. So why would they'll never shake hands and come to terms simply because of the nature of how the company is run. It has nothing to do with ideology, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just how I see it.
There are nuances, but Tim Pool is showing that like the sides are so polarized, and it's getting to the point where there's going to be, like Tim Pool thinks that there's going to be a civil war. I mean, if there isn't already, really there's kind of a Cold War going on here, because there's a lot of misinformation and just wrong crap coming out, and it's
the new Cold War, huh?
This is I would say that this is kind of the new Cold War that's going on, but Sarah Betty, she basically she didn't she deleted her tweet and she said oh yes, the kid who is marching against women's reproductive rights while wearing a hat promoting an evil homophobic racist misogynist sociopath was totally misrepresented. Well, why don't you keep up your tweet about punching him and blowing the people who will punch him in the face, getting boys out there to punch him in the face? Why don't you keep up your tweet of the assault, Sarah? Why don't you do that? I'm so sick of these virtue hypocrites. You guys are scum.
DJ T says you forgot to mention they were full-grown men against kids.
Yeah, that's right.
To call them kids is a little bit...
Well, they were teenagers. I mean, and the thing is...
I thought they were college kids. They were high school kids? Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe they were kids.
They were high school kids.
Oh, okay. I'll never doubt DJ T again.
Yeah, these were high school kids wearing MAGA, and wearing MAGA hats. Now, I think I'll tweet to you. Nathan Phillips speaks out about the tribe. Hold on one second while I go. I'm gonna put this in your box.
Put it in my box.
The sound would be better when it comes from you. If you can play that real quick.
Is stuffing my box.
I'm gonna stuff your box.
Thank you.
And oops. There. I'm going to stuff your box.
It says this is old news, man. Old news. Move on. Why are you stuck in this, man?
Who's saying that? Well, you know what? I just want to continue to put this out here. Just because, you know what? And I know it's kind of old news, but
it's already kind of old news, huh?
You're absolutely right. It is old news, but I think people need to you know what? The more people just hammer away at this, the better it is. Now, this is how they misrepresented. If you can play the clip.
American elder and Vietnam War veteran speaking to CNN after a disturbing viral video shows a group of teens harassing and mocking him in the nation's capital. Here's the video sparking outrage on social media right now. Nathan Phillips was beating his drum and singing an American Indian protest song. And this was on Friday on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial when he saw a clash erupting between a group of teenage students and 4 African-American young men preaching about the Bible and oppression. Well, Phillips says he immediately sensed danger.
When I was there and I was standing there and I seen that group of people in front of me and I seen the angry faces and all of that, I realized I had put myself in a really dangerous situation. You know, it was like, here's a group of people who were angry at somebody else, and I put myself in front of that, and all of a sudden I'm the one who's all that anger and all that wanting to have the freedom to just rip me apart. You know, that was scary. I'm a Vietnam times veteran, and I know that mentality of...
What does that mean, what he said? I'm a Vietnam times veteran.
He was in the military during the Vietnam War.
I'm a
but,
Vietnam times veteran.
What does that mean?
And everyone... And there were people saying that he's a Vietnam vet. He's not a Vietnam vet.
No, but he's not saying that.
My father is a Vietnam times veteran.
Do you hear that?
Vietnam times.
My father is a Vietnam times veteran.
I'm a Vietnam times.
My father is a Vietnam veteran.
Vietnam times veteran and Vietnam times veteran. Vietnam times veteran, and I know that mentality of there's enough of us, we can do this.
Then Phillips describes the tense moments now being replayed over and over again online when a young man got right in his face. Watch.
When I started going forward and that massive groups of people started separating and moving aside to allow me to move out of the way or to proceed, this young fella put himself in front of me and wouldn't move. And so I could, if I took another step, I would be putting my person into his presence, into his space, and I would have touched him, and that would have been the thing that the group of people would have needed to spring on me.
CNN's Sarah Seidner asked Phillips what bothered him the most about Friday's confrontation. Here are his thoughts.
Fear, not for myself, but fear for the next generations, fear where this country's going, fear for those youths, fear for their future, fear for their souls, their spirit, their what they're going to do to this country. What they were doing wasn't making America great. It was just tearing down the fabric that was the whole idea, the spirit of America. That wasn't it, you know.
Newly elected Congresswoman Deb Haaland is among the first Native Americans elected to Congress, and she reacted on Twitter, writing, "This veteran put his life on the line for our country. The students' display of blatant hate, disrespect, and intolerance is a signal of how common decency has decayed under this administration. Heartbreaking."
All right, there you go. We condemn the actions of the Covington Catholic High School students towards Nathan Phillips specifically and Native Americans in general, January 18th. After the March for Life in Washington, D.C., we extend our deepest apologies to Mr. Phillips.
Now, I want to. The other kids speak out. Now, if you read, basically, let me see here if they're going to have. Now, I sent the Covington response, and they, and this was they were completely wrong, and people are this was actually CNN misrepresented this thing, and they said, "Holy shit! Do they ever tell the truth?" And as it turns out, influenced this media outrage was the video posted by a Twitter account named of 2020 Fight, who added caption that literally says, this MAGA loser gleefully bothering Native American protesters at Indigenous Peoples March. Many people actually fell for this, and CNN was no exception until they looked at the user's other account, and that's when they realized that this was off. This was off about this. As it turns out, the tweet. So these are all lies, and this is the Covington. I put in the Covington response, but and okay, I never jumped on the fake news bandwagon, but this is literally fucking some fake news. CNN should be stopped, and people are, I mean,
I'm seeing a lot of fake news. People throwing out fake news a lot. I just see it in our chat room too. Fake news.
Yeah, they're complete fake news, and it's, CNN should be, they should either change their format, just get rid of about 70 to 80% of their broadcast team. Just start slowly. First, get rid of Don Lemon, because he's the biggest scumbag of them all. And then just slowly but surely get rid of about 70% of the CNN news team, because they really stink. CNN executives need to issue an apology and clean house. They need to, and the same thing with BuzzFeed. I think BuzzFeed is, I'm just surprised that BuzzFeed is not done. No, I don't want to just not watch. I want them to be done. Okay, can you play, by the way, the video of the response?
Let's see, what response?
I put it in. Tsunami,
Oh, a tsunami of hateful messages.
If you shop on Amazon, you should use WikiBuy. It's a browser extension that automatically compares Amazon.
So go get WikiBuy and then do Amazon. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
You're listening to us talk about that story about the Kentucky Catholic boys who were involved in that confrontation at the Lincoln Memorial a couple of days ago. Yesterday we detailed how the initial reaction to it turns out is all wrong. Turns out the man screened right, Nathan Phillips, a Native American protester, actually walked over and got into the face of the Covington High School students. There has been such an outpouring after those initial online responses. So many people call for death threats against those children and against their families and fire their parents and stuff like that. With so many threats out there, the school sent out an email and a voicemail this morning canceling school today.
That's right.
Because of all the concerns.
The statement says, after meeting with local authorities, we've made the decision to cancel school in order to ensure the safety of our students, faculty, and staff.
So think about this. What's happened, a misperception about a story in the media over the course of 48 hours has titanically even changed this country when you look at BuzzFeed, and then certainly changed the lives of these students, and hopefully a lot of people from quickly making quick judgment on things as they may appear to you. Sam and Grant are two students whose lives have been adversely affected by this entire incident because it was misportrayed. And they took to YouTube yesterday to talk about what they're experiencing.
There have been many threats against our lives, against our parents. Some of these threats include that we should all be locked in the school and it should be burnt to the ground, the school being bombed, school shooting threats. It's really scary. A lot of the negativity and the hate surrounding this event comes.
Interesting play there, using this, the hoaxed school shooting events as arsenal for his argument.
From people on social media doxing people that were at the event.
And a dox mention. Doxing hits the mainstream.
I myself wasn't even present, and I have been doxed on 3 separate occasions. This has led to a tsunami of hateful messages and threats and everything above. There are real consequences for these actions. Nobody did their research, and it's now showing.
I was reading online.
People hate watching the news with me.
The Blaze wrote this morning, every news outlet that pushed this story, the initial story that was wrong, should publish that video where the two young men, one guy wasn't even there, talked about how their families had been threatened and their identities revealed. That's also known as doxing.
Right.
Doxing, he had to explain what doxing is.
Places of business. And
for their parents.
Yeah, the children are saying our parents.
Did you hear that? He had to define doxing. Unbelievable.
You know what? I just want to say, for me, this goes to all. I mean, and not just this narrative, but to a lot of other things. Listen, folks.
By the way, when he said when he defined doxing, there was a big image of Debbie Daly in the background. I don't know if you caught that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Places of business. And
for their parents.
Yeah, the children are saying our parents could be fired. There could be major consequences because of this.
Meanwhile, the President of the United States has tweeted in, Nick Sandmann and the students of Covington have become symbols of fake news and now how evil it can be. They have captivated the attention of the world, and I know they will use it for the good, maybe even to bring people together. It started off unpleasant, but can end in a dream.
If you...
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Cut you off.
Oh, by the way, my mouse has lost connection, so I am recharging it in another room. But I will have it soon. But I want to mention that this goes to the, just a prime example of, of just the false and fake news that's out there. And really, you know what? I mean, from all of these, from either government sources or news sources, I mean, particularly like... And I want to say, on average, the more liberal news sources like CNN and the liberal organizations like the ADL, they basically spin things to their own, to their own liking and to their own prejudices, and then they don't. And then when they make mistakes, they really don't apologize good enough. Their apologies are awful and rotten. Huh. And these kids' lives have been turned upside down. There's been a lot of hate out there. And, you punch them in the face. See, Marilyn, you're a hater. You're being a hater. I don't know how long I should wait to charge my thing. But now, if you can go to Twitter and look at the hashtag Covington, hashtag Covington Gate, or even Google that.
Covington Gate.
Yeah, on Twitter, and just take a look at all of the, or even Covington High School.
Oh, over on Twitter?
Yeah, over on Twitter. If you go onto your search bar and just type in Covington, it'll show you all of the different news, all of the different tweets that have been tweeting out about that. And and you know what? And Jack and the guy who runs Twitter hasn't suspended some of these people have made threats, and he hasn't suspended any of them. He suspended Laura Loomer, but he hasn't suspended a lot of these other people. Virtue hypocrites, complete virtue hypocrites, because they've suspended Laura Loomer, but these other clowns on there who said awful things get nothing done to them. What a bunch of nonsense. Just awful. And you know what? I'm really angry. This is not, these companies are un-American. They're acting un-American. They're not fair-minded. They're not decent people. They are scum. Complete and utter scum. I'm going to go get my mouse real quick. JP, if you can blow it just for a few minutes.
Covington Gate will go down in infamy as the time Far-left media outlets, celebrities, and even major news outlets led a harassment campaign against children. Finally, we see how Twitter does nothing. They don't stop the harassment. They don't ban the people for calling for death. All right. Angry stuff. Here's one by Michael Barger. Thanks for this well-deserved compliment, Tim Cass. Tim Pool is a journalist of the highest integrity, far outstripping many of the MSM who routinely lie and deceive, as is abundantly evident from Covington Gate. Love you, Tim. All right. Let's read Fester Geek. Hashtag Covington Gate. I hate the use of gate after every scandal. It's stupid. So Nixon's scandal is the quintessential reference to which all others are measured? Okay. But why gate? It's like an 8-year-old came up with it because they don't understand how words work. Excuse me. Tony Mataya. He says, what the hell would you choose the Today Show for a place? Why the hell would you choose the Today Show for as a place for an interview? Parents should be proud of this young man, but find a more friendly news outlet for the interview. Oh boy! All right. Here's a dude, Nico Doriaz. I seem little. Oh boy!
I'm gonna do this personalization writing.
No, people don't know how to read and write.
Owes him a public apology. They lied and deceived their audience into believing that they were harassing Mr. Phillips, and Jake Tapper putting out a PR letter written by fellow CNN employee and Trump supporter without informing their viewers. Shame all around Covington Gate. And why is the left so phony? Whoopi Goldberg, CNN, and the rest so full of hate, wishing death on kids to judgment, and ignoring the racist words hurled at them. That's why our shirt, we want to sell. We want to put out more of them. Anybody can be a racist.
Anybody.
And yes. Those days of only white folks can be that. This is outrageous. These kids were accused of something, and shame on you, CNN, shame on you, Twitter, for not holding, and also shame on you, Twitter, for not holding your double standards. You both suck. In Twitter, you suck even more because you have standards and practices and you're not following them. You should be sued too. They should sue you for being hypocrite. If there was a hypocrite court, you'd be guilty. What's the gentleman's name who owns Twitter?
Who is the guy?
Jack Doerr. I'm looking that up right now.
Isn't it Ev Williams is the that's the shareholder. I don't know who started it. Jack Dorsey. Yeah, Jack Dorsey and Noah Glass and Biz Stone also.
Oh, there's a Saudi prince that owns a lot of Twitter.
Yeah. I was just reading that, dude. Ev Williams owns 46 million shares. Wow. Damn. That is crazy. If fucking Twitter tanks, that guy would lose so much money. Wow.
Like he'd care.
He wouldn't care. That's a fact, man.
Like
you know, one of the founders is this dude. His name's Biz Stone, and he is one of the early bloggers. And I got into blogging around the time when Biz Stone came around and became a name. And it's pretty amazing that he got involved in developing Twitter. I mean, just crazy.
And Mark Dye says to Jack Dorsey, do the world a favor and shut down Twitter forever. Your mismanagement and neglect has fueled a tsunami of fake news, half-truths, harassment, and hate like never before in history. But that's what you want, isn't it, Jack? It's for the resistance. Let me take a look at Jack, if he has anything to add about his hypocrisy. Let me see here what this Jack guy says. Here we go. We're committing Twitter to help increase the collective health and openness to the civility of public conversation and hold ourselves publicly accountable towards progress. Okay, that was March 1st. And let's see. Insightful information, dense conversation. And it's, you know, it's really kind of too bad, by the way. I want to mention that I think it's too bad because Twitter could be a place where we can talk to people in the mainstream who put out political things and have debate. But you know what? The left doesn't want debate. The left wants to shut down and lie. And they would love CNN and all the rest and the Young Turks. Secretly, they would love to shut down about 90% of YouTube if they could. Particularly Anna. I mean, on the Young Turks, it would be Anna Kasparian is a big censored Nazi, and she would basically love to shut down a lot of what's YouTube there.
Would you love to talk to Anna Kasparian?
And you know what? All right, I think someone is trying to get my attention.
Hold on, I asked you a question. Would you like to talk to Anna Kasparian?
Oh, I would, but she won't talk to me.
No.
She hasn't blocked me on Twitter, but she won't. You know, she doesn't. You know what? They all know now.
You know what? You don't have anyone to blame but yourself. You got to open those conversations with her.
No. I've tweeted to her.
You should keep doing it. It doesn't take one or two. There's people that probably tweet her 1,000 times until they get a response.
Here's the deal with the Young Turks today.
You shouldn't give up on that. They're sold out. They're done. Young Turks sold out.
Yeah. Let me just say this: the Young Turks do not respond to tweets, and they also do not.
Okay.
They don't even read their comments anymore, because they're about 70% negative. They know that people think they suck, so they just don't. They don't even respond.
Yeah.
They know that people think they're awful.
They're connected to some huge names, and they have so much funding that they are nothing more than yet another source of bogus bullshit stories.
TYT is connected to the Saudis. I mean, I think the Saudis are funding
to name one of their major backers.
The Young Turks.
They've got some big people backing them for sure. Praise Jesus.
Yeah, but from my understanding...
What are you looking at? Are you trying to figure... No, you talk, dude. Just talk.
Okay. No. I mean, because the same Saudi person that like has bought Twitter, I think they're very much... like I said, I think Saudi Arabia... there are wealthy people in Saudi Arabia that have helped that are funding the Young Turks. I'm just making sure.
Definitely Islam. I'm not sure. There's Islamic countries and backers for sure. Qatar. I think Qatar's been named.
Now, did Alex Jones really? Because there was a fight between Alex Jones and Cenk Uygur, and
by the way, there's a media nut out there. I don't like to call people names, but Ed Chiarini. For anybody who knows this guy, Ed Chiarini has a very, very popular website called Well Aware One, and he is well aware of our show. And
oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. And listened to the show several times. And he's, if you know anything about Ed, he's got a very niche part of the internet where he identifies people that. So he basically has a theory, that people we live in this like kind of fantasy-based reality and an actor-based reality where actors play different roles and different parts of leadership all the way down the line. And so, anyways, but he's just like this over-the-top dude. And one day, he started sending me tweets claiming I was Cenk Uygur. And I said, no, I'm really not. I'm really not. And he said, I've listened to your show. I've heard your voice. And I know that you are Cenk. And I promise you I am not Cenk.
You're a liar. You are
not Cenk. God damn it. I'm not Cenk.
Now, because from what I understand, because I don't think he did that. But Alex Jones supposedly said, Saudi Arabia aren't funding you enough, for your little jihad.
Yikes.
I almost want to see. And this is an oldie but a goodie.
I think George Soros was named too. I don't know if he is for sure, but I've heard that he might have a hand in the Young Turks. I'll keep looking. Oh, there is no evidence that George Soros is funding the Young Turks. I guess I was wrong.
Well, no, I didn't say George Soros.
But I thought that. I thought I had heard that before, but I was wrong.
All right, now here's an oldie but a goodie from the Young Turks. And if you can play this one, this was always. This is the Young Turks, Alex Jones.
By the way, do you know
Stone.
who Buddy Roemer is? Buddy Roemer?
I think I might have heard the name.
Yeah, he's a conservative. He's actually the one that was responsible for getting the Young Turks. I think it was like $4 million sometime about in 2015 or 14. So he was really responsible for getting them to blow up. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah. So yeah, I have the clip.
Yes.
I put it in your thing. The Young Turks coverage at the Alex Jones and Roger Stone interrupt the Young Turks Republican convention. If you can play that one real quick, it'd be interesting.
Let's see here. Roger Stone.
This is an ad for project management.
Shit. Got a commercial.
Yes.
Back on the Young Turks. Obviously, a little bit of commotion here. Is Alex Jones
By the way, that's Cenk talking right now. That's the person that that this dude claimed I was.
And a guy significantly worse than him entered the stage here. What changes in demographics is that he wins white males in such overwhelming numbers that it overcomes every other demographic advantage Hillary has.
Come sit in your lap.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, Alex Jones, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. You're looking sexy.
All right.
Hey, how's the revolution going? You guys starting the revolution?
We are indeed, Alex. The revolution is afoot. Welcome to the Young Turks.
You know what's wrong with America is not?
I am going to restore American democracy along with progressives and conservatives in this country.
All right. Well, I got to tell you.
So there's a panel here, and out of the blue, from off stage, Alex Jones just photobombs, just goes right in, gets right in Cenk's face. Now, I didn't realize they had such bad blood. Well, do you know the background there? Why they don't?
Well, he got pissed off when he mentioned the Saudis, and I'm thinking that the Saudis have funded. That there is some Saudi money behind the Young Turks. That they were funded, I've heard, by Qatar. I don't know exactly, but I mean, I'm surprised that the Young Turks are still around.
I am really, really proud to be here with you. It's good to meet you in person.
I don't think.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay.
You like all our Hillary for Prison shirts everywhere?
No, I kind of despise it.
What shirts are they? I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen? Oh my God! You didn't see me? I don't exist if you didn't see me.
I'm not.
All right, guys. Okay. Here,
look at this. I got a new shirt for you right here. It's rape. It's Bill Clinton that says rape. Oh God, hide that immediately. That's the big no-no that Roger Stone's banned.
All right, you want to take my shirt?
Cenk ripped the shirt out of Alex Jones's hand.
He was saying,
I can't share my screen with you tonight. I don't know why it's not letting me share my screen. Skype. Damn it. All right.
Show over, I'll take your show
Sure,
over.
go ahead.
Okay, you know what? Who does this kind of shirt? First of all, a sick guy. Second of all,
Bill Clinton's not a rapist, folks.
No, you know who's accused in court papers.
Come on.
You know who's accused in court papers of being a rapist? Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump, Roger Stone. You know that. It's in court papers.
Oh yeah.
And you're a sick dude, Roger Stone.
I want to have a rant off with you right now.
You assault me all the time. You never give me a chance to respond.
I should give you a hatchet job. A job to respond. You're a sick man, Roger Stone.
Roger,
no, you're the world's biggest liar. Didn't you admit that you lied about Elliot Spitzer? Didn't you already admit that?
You're not afraid of him, are you? You're not afraid of him. Get him in here.
And first of all, Alex, this ain't your fucking show.
I don't know.
And Roger, it surely ain't your fucking show.
Are you afraid to debate him?
Okay. Afraid? Are you kidding me? No.
That is great. I never saw that.
Back on.
Should we play the rest of it?
Keep on going, baby. This is getting good.
All right.
Roger, run away.
Roger, don't go. He wants to debate you right now.
I'm not going to debate this guy. You're a hatchet man. I don't know why anyone in the media takes you seriously. All you do is lie. You're known as the biggest liar in media. You're the biggest liar in media.
There's nobody watching your show, dude.
Don't get too mad. We got to have a...
Alex
all right,
Jones,
well, first of all,
Alex Jones keeps tapping him on the back. He must be outraged. Like, if somebody did that to you, wouldn't you want to fight immediately?
What?
If somebody patted you on the back like that repeatedly, wouldn't you want to just get up and start fighting?
I'll fight for other reasons.
He's actually mad. He's actually really upset. I think you should have come to debate it. That's true.
All right.
Once you get out of here, Alex.
Now the ladies are.
We got to continue the show.
Hey, man, nobody watches you. We know nobody watches you. You do the
Saudi
ratings.
Arabians aren't funny enough, your little jihad.
Hey, first of all, let me explain something, all right? Okay, this is bullshit. Okay, hold on. We're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass. We talk about that all the time.
Oh, really?
We talk about that all the time. You don't know shit. What do you think? The lizard people are in charge? Is that what you think?
Hey, you're pissed.
Build their
We're kicking
birds.
your ass.
Is that what you think?
You're the anti-liberal and you're pissed.
Bullshit.
We're being nice here.
You know what I care about? I care about the American people.
Good. You're the one flipping the house. Anybody hurt? I'm not.
Damn, you know what? All these people are complete actors, but it's great acting.
They just spent my
Hey, unless there's staff. Clear their space, guys. It's their space. Unless you're their staff.
Wow, look at all these fucking wannabe reporters trying to get their angle. Oh man, what a weird scene. It's so weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, can you keep playing it because it gets better. It gets better.
That was it. That was the 4 minutes. Is there?
That's.
Clip?
Did he spit on him? Did you see the spit?
No, I must have missed it. What is it when he got up and
Jimmy Dore spit water on him?
I don't know how I missed that.
Yes.
Oh man, just crazy. I mean, just crazy stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is absolutely insane. And the Young Turks. Let me see if the Young Turks covered Covington. I just want to, folks. I'm here. Just Nathan Phillips reveals the truth about the protest. Trump is done. Here's the evidence. This is 4 days ago. So they just did something 3 hours ago, and it's about. Let me play this. This is what the Young Turks have to say about the Covington incident. See if they have any. And this is the worst. One of the worst people, though, is Anna Kasparian. She's an awful person. She's just a very contentious, nasty person. So I'm gonna. The Young Turks talk about Nathan Phillips, and they reveal the truth. Can we play a little bit of that, JP?
Why did this? Yeah. Give it about 3 seconds.
Viral video featured a group of white male students wearing Trump MAGA hats in a confrontation with a Native American elder. His name is Nathan Phillips, and he's from the Omaha tribe. And the way the video was presented made it appear as though this group of students was antagonizing him, mocking him, taunting him. Now, there were certainly students in that viral video who were mocking and taunting him. However, now the fuller context has been released in the form of video, and we have a better idea of what went down. Now, the early video excerpts from the encounter obscured the larger context, inflaming outrage. There were also black men who identified themselves as Hebrew Israelites, preaching their beliefs and shouting racially combative comments at the Native Americans and the students. So, bad actors all around. But I'm going to show you the CBS News report that perfectly summarizes what happened, and then
she says it right there. They always give it away.
Fill in the blanks as to who the good guys versus bad guys are.
A high school junior from
I just got to play that again.
Israelites preaching their beliefs and shouting racially combative comments at the Native Americans and the students. So, bad actors.
I mean, that's
at the Native Americans and the students.
All these stories.
So, bad actors all around. But I'm going to show you the CBS News report that perfectly summarizes what happened, and then fill in the blanks as to who the good guys versus bad guys are.
A high school junior from Covington Catholic High School in Kentucky inches away while Sandman's schoolmates chanted. It seemed Phillips was being treated disrespectfully. But within hours, more videos surfaced.
What the hell is you see of crackers with Make America Great hat on?
The kids from Kentucky had been taunted by a small group of African-American provocateurs known as the Black Hebrew Israelites.
This is a bunch of future school shooters.
The Covington kids shouted over them
Get this crap.
with what they say were school cheers. dozens jumping up and down. Which is when Phillips walked toward the group of students, beating his drum, he says, to calm a combustible situation.
What did you do when America was tearing itself apart? Did you turn your head, did you walk away? Or did you go in there, into the midst of it, and say, this is wrong?
So Nathan Phillips says that he wanted to intervene to calm the tensions, but as you can see, it was a pretty chaotic scene, and there were multiple protests happening in the same area. So you have the students protesting, abortions. You have the Native Americans protesting DAPL, the Dakota Access Pipeline. And then the Hebrew Israelites, I don't know what they were protesting, but there was a lot of yelling going on.
They're protesting life. They got so misdirected, they got lost. And they're like, I don't know, I hate both of you. They literally yelled at both the Native American guy and the students. Yes. Anyway, so look, a couple things are clear, and then we'll talk about what's not clear. So the bad guys in this case is clear, and it's the black Hebrew Israelites. So the Native Americans were in a different part. The pro-life kids are in that part. The Israelites yelling at both of them, but mainly at the kids, as you see in the video, right? So then the kids respond. Now that case gets to the conclusion of the second conclusion, which is clear. Nathan Phillips is the good guy here, because he comes in not to antagonize the kids or the Israelites, but to come in and soothe things over. With the drum is for peace, okay? That's a peace drum. And so he wants to calm everything down. Now, the reason the first video is misleading, and we'll get to the source of that video, which is very interesting, okay, is because it makes it seem like the kids came to, I don't know, at least it gave that impression to some people.
All right, we got a 14-minute clip here. So how much of this are you do you have any comments?
Are you talking about the Young Turks?
Yes. Why are we watching this?
I mean, this is a little bit fair reporting for them, but that's saying, that's saying a lot for these scumbags. But the Native American, I don't think was there for peace. He was there. Those kids were being confronted by the Hebrew Israelites, and Mr. Phillips, the so-called Native American. I guess the Native Americans are now the master race.
All right.
They're the ones, but he was not there for peace. He was there to confront the kids. He was not trying to defuse the situation. He was trying to escalate it. I think he was putting kerosene on the fire is what he was doing. He wasn't peaceful at that time. He was wrong. I think he was wrong as well.
What dropped? It sounded like something dropped.
Oh, sorry. That was just my bottle cap that I just dropped. I was holding it in my hand, squeezing it.
Your sippy cup fell?
No, not my pee cup. No, but.
So Chink enrages you. The chick, what's her name?
Anna Kasparian enrages me even more.
Yeah, we did a show about Anna Kasparian a long time ago, and it got a lot of hits, but no Anna Kasparian.
No, Anna Kasparian. I'll tell you this though. I do think, however, I made comments on a YouTube video, and I think I was confronted, incognito. When we did the what was the name of the Ronda Rousey narcissist show?
Ronda Rousey definitely addressed you incognito.
Yes, incognito. Yes.
That was obvious. But you're saying maybe Anna Kasparian might have done that? Or no?
You know what? Yes. No, she wouldn't have. No, Anna Kasparian, no. And Anna Kasparian...
She might have. She seems kind of crazy.
You know what? I think she has... because when you're in the spotlight, I mean, she's not a big star, but when you're in the spotlight like she is, I think she's had her fill of nutbags, and I think they've called her Jihadi Jane and things like that, and she's been cussed out and chewed out, and
she's an attractive lady. She's attractive, but
people can't wait to just throw their verbal napalm or just throw verbal semen on her.
Now I know the new. Now I'm hoping Gina Grad is a new young Turk. Just because I've met her before, so I'm pulling, and I think she's kind of hot.
She is hot.
I can't stand listening to her.
Do you think she'd ever go on our show, being who we are?
You know what? I think if I sat down and wrote a thoughtful email to her, I have a feeling that we could get Gina Grad.
Really?
And she's hot, in my opinion.
Well, let me take a look at. Let me see how hot she is. Let me go.
I know her history, dude. I've listened to her for almost 15 years. And
how old is she, by the way?
How old?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Right
she must be about my age, our age.
Yeah, I see her right now. She's good looking. I'm on her Twitter page right now.
Dude, try to get a full body picture of her.
Yeah, she's not.
All right, I'll get you a good picture of Gina Grad.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put this in the show too. See, everyone out there could see Gina Grad. And I hope that worked.
Yeah, she's a little hottie, but Gina Grad has also been on. She's been on what's his face. So she may not be that liberal because she's been on.
She was on the Conway show Tim Conway Jr. show for a long time, and then
because Conway's kind of conservative. Did they disagree a lot?
You know what? I'll be honest. I don't really listen to her. I just perv on her pictures. She does. She agrees with him a lot on a lot of things.
Is she more conservative or more liberal?
No. She's more conservative, I would say. Absolutely. That's why I say she's trying to be kind of like the new Kennedy. But I think she comes off as being a little bit more. I think people want to make her more liberal than she is, for sure.
Well, when you're on the Young Turks, and to a degree, I mean.
What? I mean, it's supposed to be a conservative kind of atmosphere, right?
Yeah. No. She was on the Young Turks, which is a liberal show.
They are liberal, but I think that she would be more conservative than the rest of them. But I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong because I haven't listened in a long time to much of what she does, but.
And maybe the Young Turks let her go because she might have been the one conservative on the show.
I was blinded by her rack.
Yeah.
She was on Adam Carolla's show for a while.
And you've never been blinded by mine. Yeah.
Right. No, her chest definitely outweighs yours.
Yes. Which is awesome, by the way. Awesome. And who, like I said, and she's in Los Angeles, I don't know,
She is. In fact, I think she's from the Valley, and we have mutual friends. We have at least 3 mutual friends, which is weird. I'm not sure exactly how, but I think she went to high school near me or something.
Yeah. I'm looking at her food, and that's making me horny too.
Yep. She likes her food.
She sure does. And with that being said, I think that we will.
What are you going to do for food tonight? Now that it's 11:15,
not going to eat anything.
You have used the ultimate in discipline. You've foregone a strip club to do a show, but I'm assuming you're gonna just like get off and you know what, you're gonna be like, I was so disciplined tonight. I did a show. I didn't go waste money at the strip bar. I am gonna absolutely eat the hugest fucking steak I can find.
No, I'm not going to do that. I wasn't hungry. I've already eaten a steak, by the way.
Oh, what'd you have?
I just cooked it myself, and I'm gonna make pork chops too.
Our lines are open, 310-668-1969. You have to call within the next 30 seconds, or Mr. Midnight Movie will be going to make food and leaving.
I'm going to end the show, unless you want to keep it going.
Not unless we get a call in the next few seconds. Otherwise, 310-668-1969.
Yes.
I'm getting, my voice is mangled. I'm done. Let's see. My man boobs are your pork chop.
I see that I have a fan.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I posted a video of us, and then you get a fan basically pop up the next day.
Should I take this call at the end, because there is someone who has called me?
End the abomination. No one wants to hear either of you losers except for you. Well, yeah, good. Answer the call. Come on.
All right, let me call this clown. Is he calling me? He hasn't called me.
Oh.
Wait, has someone called us? Hold on. Let's see. No one's called us.
Nobody. No phone calls. All right, whatever. You know what? I'm done with you people. Done.
Done, everybody. Hey, you know what? I thought the show was okay. I know I got a little upset. I'm still upset about this whole story. The more I read into it, the more angry and upset I get.
I know. You better find resolution soon. It's already an old story, according to Maryland. So, what do you think?
Maryland, go to hell! Maryland, go to hell! ADL and ADL, go to hell! Virtue hypocrites, go to hell! All right. You know, that's all the time for me anyway. JP, you want to play us out?
Actually, keep talking. I got to find that song real quick.
All right, as JP digs under and finds that song as best he can, I'm going to mention that we're going to be doing a lot more things. I think we're going to be holding a rally against the civil rights industrial complex. We will...
Well, folks, this is...
Retweet the show.
That's right. Retweet it.
The best show on Blog Talk and the best show on...
Retweet it.
Yes, thank you for listening to Inflammatory Talk.
The internet. Shut up. Nobody, and I mean nobody, tackles issues like Inflammatory Talk. Shut up. And Mr. Midnight Movie. Shut up. And Jewish producer.
Hello, son.
Shut